Hi, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. This will be a twin flame support reading. I actually already started this reading and for some reason the recording didn't take, so I'm just gonna keep it flowing. I'm very low energy the last couple days, but I really didn't want to miss a reading, so I will do the best that I can. Okay, where was I? Anything else for you, or anything for union energies? What do we need to know about union energies? Okay. Oh, I was not expecting that. That actually immediately got me really emotional. We have grieving and friendship. Another thing that happens when I am very low energy is my emotions are right at the surface. Then we have empowerment in the unconscious. Okay, let's get all the cards and then we'll drop in. Yeah, I just have to say this. You know, we're going to be a little crazy in this reading and just go where the energy and the messages take me. I am going to throw out the order of operations and just see what happens. So I'm deeply moved by these cards, this union energy, both energies, feminine and masculine. And you know, if you've watched me for a while, I try to always name whether or not I feel if it's external or internal. And this feels very much an external energy reading. So both the external masculine and external feminine energies are grieving the friendship and grieving the loss of something, grieving the support, the presence, the love. Okay, sorry, they took me on a whole journey with the feminine energy right there, but I'm not there yet, so let's bear with me. All right, this is already a wackadoo reading, so who knows what this is going to be. All right, masculines, we have pleasure. We have, let me do this right. Pleasure, etheric chords. We have grief and resistance in reverse. I don't know if any of you watched, I can't remember which reading it was. One of the readings I've done in the last few days was so intense. It honestly took me about like a few hours to recover. I spent too long with the cards. Do you see how slow I am today? I don't know what is up with me. Okay, anything for feminines? We're doing the best we can, but we're still showing up anyway. I love a little chaotic energy, right? That's why we're here, to learn to hold our center for love in all flavors of chaos. And right now, this is a flavor of chaos. So here we are doing the things. Okay, we have celestial alignment, which is interesting because feminine's got this in another reading. I'm just going to put these right on top, actually. And intuition. Union energies, what do we got? Whoa, okay. Messing up my cards. Don't they know not to mess up my cards? Okay, we have creativity and level up in reverse. Man, I'm getting messages that I don't want to say. So, as a reader and as someone who's been walking the twin flame path for almost 10 years now, I always try to stay away from phrases, ideas, theories about this twin flame path that promote any sort of kind of shallow relationship dynamic. The work I have been trying to do is to dismantle kind of this. I'm trying to find a more graceful phrase, but I'll just say what I want to say. There's a lot of low vibrational, shadowy, toxic twin flame energy out there. There's a lot of like fairy tale energy. There's a lot of people just trying to get clicks and views, and they'll have very dramatic titles, and you know, I don't like it, and I'm can't believe I'm talking about this, but here we are. I don't like it because I am someone that really honors the work, the individual work. And anytime, I just think it's unkind to play with people's emotions. I'm getting emotional talking about this because I can't tell you how much of the twin flame path are people just recovering from the toxic twin flame stuff. And let's honor the real work here. It's real soul work, right? To accomplish things on this path that actually move the needle, that actually support the individual in becoming a more grounded, expanded, sovereign version of self. It takes a lot of intentional, conscious work. And I'm sure at every stage of the journey, at least once or twice, some of us have gotten pulled into some fairy tale version of this work, right? It's fun sometimes even to play around with what's possible and what could be, but sometimes also that creates more pain and more yearning and longing, and it really sometimes usually pulls us off of our own path. So the thing that came up in this reading, that is why you're listening to me go on a rant that I don't want to say, but I'm going to say it anyway because I want to stick with the integrity of this, what's coming through, is, by the way, isn't it interesting that this is coming up when I have almost no energy? I find it very fascinating that this very large thing, but maybe it's coming through because I am low energy, right? My defenses are down, and they're asking me to say the thing I don't want to say, but I'm going to say it, and I'm going to try to frame it in as conscious of a way as possible. So, remembering the union energies that both parties are grieving the loss of something. They're grieving the loss of this genuine, innocent, precious friendship, this childlike connection that is at the core between the feminine and masculine energies. And the thing that I don't want to say, which I've been building it up way too long, it's not that big of a deal, but it's just, do you hear me? I'm still stalling. We have the level up and creativity cards in the reverse. And there's something here about reclaiming something and rebalancing the scale, bringing justice, bringing temperance to the situation. And let me put a disclaimer on this and say that exactly the thing I don't want to say. The message that's coming through is that in order to level up and to access this next level of expansion and creativity is to repair this friendship between the feminine and masculine. That's the thing I don't want to say, okay? So now let's look at it through the lens of the highest and best possible interpretation, and that is that we are repairing the inner and external relationship that we have with this other soul, right? This doesn't have to happen in 3D. I'm putting a contingency on it that this isn't, run to this person and, repair the friendship. It could be for some of you, if that fits your narrative, if that makes sense. But if it doesn't, don't force this, right? Don't force this. There's something also here about, time out. Spirit is really hilarious because I am just in a weird space. I am low energy and all of the stuff is coming through right now. And I'm just like, of course it is. Of course, it's totally ordinary. I'm being asked to share with you to remember the beginning relationship with this person. Remember the first time you came into contact with them. Remember that time. You're being asked to evaluate who were you at that time? What stage of your journey were you in? What type of person were you? What were you looking for? Did you have any hidden agendas when you met this person? Allow yourself to remember the innocence, the friendship, the preciousness of maybe the naive version of self, right? You are not who you were when you met this person. You are not this self-sourced entity that you are now. So I'm curious, what part of that connection set your heart on fire? Remember, we talked about in the last couple of readings about reigniting this wildfire, this holy fire within the heart, rekindling this flame of zest for life, of creativity, of sensuality, of beauty, of growth, of expansion, of transformation. There's a gift in this process for some of you. There's something coming through here that when you remember who you were in that moment when you met this person, you're being called to also, as you step deeper into this, as you take a step deeper and deeper and deeper, you're being also called to individuate as you step in. It's very easy to remember the kind of rose-colored version of the connection. However, there's a gift in this for some of you. There's something in here about, was this person, wow, this is a really direct thing. Forgive me for how it's coming out, but it's just, I gotta say it. Was this person that incredible? Or were they just a mere reflecting back to you your own incredible nature? You know, did you come alive because they were just, someone actually saw you and they were mirroring back to you how you've always wanted to see yourself? Because that's an incredibly addicting thing. I'm giving that space to breathe because it's not a small thing. So we are being asked to take another step deeper into any disillusionment and individuate from any points where we gave our power away to this person or to a job or to a boss or to anything, a spouse. You can even give your power away to your children. You know, even though the hierarchy is a little off, it doesn't matter. We can leak energy anywhere to anything. And so we're being called to revisit those points where we kind of felt these peak states of existence. These, on the twin flame path, I would dare to call it a non-ordinary state of reality, right? You met this person and it altered your consciousness forever. God, this is so not my flavor of reading, you guys. This is not normally what I talk about, but here it is. They're really getting me while I'm low energy. Like, I can't even fight this. I'm not even going to try to fight it. It's funny, too, because my third eye is on, like, pulsating right now. I have, like, a pressure headache from this. But I also think it's because I'm resisting it. So let's drop into the flow and see what else is here. Yeah. You're being called essentially to rekindle the friendship within self, remembering what this person reflected back to you in that moment that you came alive. There was something that came online when you met this person. What was that thing? Dissect it, look at it. And I'm not saying make a bunch of meaning about it, but I am saying to bring your awareness to it. This is something that happened in my own experience where they were reflecting so much of how I saw myself and how I wished the world could see me. And they were reflecting back all of that beauty and all that love. And I couldn't, it was very hard to handle, right? It's a very strong vibration when the world starts to reflect back to you the version of yourself that you always dreamed to be and that you actually already are. Whew. All right, I'm just going to get some general, okay. Am I receiving peace? Yeah, this is another message. Again, as you step deeper. Okay, So what's the quote? To reach the highest heights, we have to access the deepest depths. In order to do that, we have to bring light, love, and pleasure down into the darkness, or else we'll never be able to sustain that level of inner work. We need to illuminate the dark with love, or else we'll be flooded by it. I'm very drawn to this river and these water analogies. Isn't it interesting that all this time I've been talking about fire and now I'm talking about flooding it? So we have to be careful that we don't flood our system, right? What does water do to a flame? It completely snuffs it out, right? Anything else? I kind of like the vibe of this chaotic reading. It's kind of a, I don't know, there's something. It's like, you know how it feels for me? It's like you're driving down the highway and you're speeding and you keep speeding and the speedometer or whatever it's called keeps increasing and increasing. And you know that this is probably dangerous. And there's something like about that energy of kind of riding the edge of too fast. There's something like exhilarating about it, but also clearly dangerous about it. All right, we have, am I ready to be seen in reverse? And am I singing my song? Like these are all versions of the same. And then we have this, I think it's a moon card. I'll just put it over here. Now it's going to bother me. We need one more card to balance this reading out. And thank you so much. We have two. We have the star and we have what enchants me, delight, right? This is about rekindling and identifying what is that thing. And there's no shame in honoring that. You know, okay. Do you hear me today? This is just cracking me up. So often on the spiritual path, we are being told to detach from everything, that attachment is suffering, that, you know, to be self-sourced, to be sovereign. And I think a shadowy piece that comes out of the hearing this language around it is that we think we can't take anything from other people, places, and things, that we can't, you know, connect with other things. We can't allow other things in the universe other than self to ignite something within us. But this is, I'm being called to call out this message. I'm sorry, my wording is so choppy today, but bear with me. You're allowed to go back into the past, even to something that was toxic, even to something that was, dare I say, traumatic for you, and excavate the positive things that you experienced within that chaos. It's okay. You are intentional and conscious enough not to get flooded and sucked into the fairy tale rose-colored version of these memories. But you're allowed to go back in the past and say, you know what? Despite how this person and I ended, it really ignited these things in me, or I felt these things for the first time, and I want to honor that, because that means that those things came online in your energetic system, and that is sacred, because really, again, it has nothing to do with the other person. All that's doing is reflecting back to you that you had access to that joy, that bliss, that abundance, that sovereignty, that happiness. So again, you're allowed to go back in these moments in your life to excavate information of what enchanted you, what ignited that yearning and that longing. What did you desire? What was your soul burning for in those moments? Okay, what a bizarre reading. All right, let's get a card for masculine energy. Masculine energy, we have moving forward in the reverse. Yeah, so they're stuck, you know, they're stuck on something here. And I can't believe I'm going to say these things, but the cards don't lie. I mean, the masculine energy is struggling to move forward because of this grief. And the feminine energies have awareness. Yeah, and it's interesting because I think the feminine energy has been carrying this grief much longer than the masculines have, right? Feminine energy has known the entire time. Let's just honor that and validate that. You don't have to talk to a million friends or your therapist or anyone else to convince anyone that this was true for you. I'm just going to validate your feelings right here, right now. Feminine energy has been aware of the role of this person and this journey in their lives. They've known the whole time. And I think the masculines are really integrating this pain, this grief on a different level. But it also feels like there's a critical mass of sweetness here. It feels like a loving remembrance. It doesn't feel like an angry or dense or suffering energy. It just feels like a ping, like masculines are online now about what this journey is about. Interesting, in the union energy, we have another friendship card. Oh, man. I just want to cry because it's that friendship that ignites such a sacred and rich foundation for one another to do this profound inner work. And eventually, what ignites the strong foundation to do this profound outer work, right? The mission-based work, the collective work. We also have innocence. I think you've heard me say this. There is a preciousness, a pristine preciousness to this divine innocence. The friendship between you was so pure and unadulterated. Sorry, I'm just so overcome by this energy because there's been so much pain between you two. Between the feminine and masculine energy collectively. There's been so much misunderstanding. There's been so much triggering. There's been so much running and chasing and expansion and contraction. And it gets so muddy. It gets so muddy. I'm very drawn thinking of the riverbed of a river and how right along the edge it's so dense and muddy. And if you get your foot stuck in it, you know, it's hard to get it out, right? It's almost like the mud is sucking your foot in. Anything else for the union energy, spirit? All right, let's switch it up. Let me just get some twin flame cards because this reading already has been so... It's really interesting to me as a intuitive when the reading so early on starts repeating itself. I might have to stop. I mean, we're already, 23 minutes in almost? All right, so for the masculines, we have mission accomplished, welcome home. But it's in the reversed. So yeah, there's energy of stalling here. Or being stalled, rather. Okay, feminine energies, got a bunch. Increase your frequency. Karmic relationship, releasing the past in reverse. And entering your vortex. Yeah, you know, the tough, shadowy side of the feminine's gifts of intuition. And remember what I said here, that the feminine energy has been aware of what this journey was as it was unfolding from the very beginning. The shadow attribute of that quality, of that skill, is that they have to carry more and they have to contend with more. So there's actually, wait, where did I just say it? Yeah, so there's more work to sift through, right? Feminine energy has to sift through, okay, what is the highest and best interpretation of all of this stuff? You know, there's just more work to kind of do. And then okay, interesting. Okay, hold on, let me feel this for a second. Union energies just got reunion, reconciling differences. And then in reverse, false twin flame, intense change. So, okay, this is kind of a beautiful message that because of this strong magnetic pull between the twins, everything that is false, everything that is dissonant, everything that has been made a false god in this journey is now being incinerated in this kind of holy fire, Basically, anything that is not of integrity and sincerity and truth is burning up. So anything false is now getting pushed out, so that all of this innocence and preciousness and this conscious awareness of what this journey has been is coming to fruition. If I had more energy, I would be way more excited, but I don't want that to deter you. Like, I need you to understand how powerful of a message this actually is. It's like one of the first times that the feminine and masculine have been equally mirroring the same message. I'll speak for my own readings. I haven't seen this yet since I've been on YouTube. I haven't been on YouTube that long, of course, but still, this is a kind of a massive rite of passage. This is a milestone, and it should be treated as such. So please celebrate. Okay, in the unconscious, we have spiritual awakening, shift or be shifted. Yeah, it's like, and I kind of have, all right. It's very easy for me to be biased because I identify primarily heavily with the divine feminine energy. So I'm just consciously aware of that. And I'm saying that out loud to hold myself accountable. But the masculine energy is going through these layers of disbelief, right? We've been seeing this building up for months now. And there's something here that, to get to this spiritual awakening, this sort of stagnation, or rather the darkness of the stagnation, has to kind of push the masculine energy to the brink to affect change. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's see, what else should we get? Where else should we go? Let's get some Divine Beloved cards. Oh, wrong deck. Let's see. Sorry, all my decks start to look alike and at some point when I'm this tired. Okay, that's way too many. That was half the deck. What do we need to know? I'm going to take them. Okay, we have freedom. I love myself. Change me, Divine Beloved, into one who can love myself in every condition. Free me from self-torture. Fill me with acceptance, self-acceptance, and worthiness. May I allow and honor all my feelings, however they arise. We also have available. I am open. Change me, Divine Beloved, into one who can offer you even the most baffling problems, knowing you'll carry me to the right solutions at the right time, if I am utterly open, receptive, and available. We have fear. I release all fear. I invite you, Divine Beloved, to move through me in all ways, guiding my actions in every moment. Let me release all fear and feel unbridled openness to the new. We have competition and creativity. I honor my passions. I am yours alone. Change me, Divine Beloved, into one who honors my deepest creative passions and needs. Help me value the talents you have given, both known and unknown. Remember, we had creativity in the reverse, pending on healing this friendship, or at least, at minimum, healing the grief around the loss of a friendship. And then we have competition. I am yours alone. Change me, Divine Beloved, into one who can trust that you alone are the source for all. Free me from the illusion of scarcity and competition. Let me trust that all needs are always richly met. I am yours alone. Interesting, because it's very interesting to me that this card was last, because I would say a few years ago now, I kind of took a vow to myself on the twin flame path. I vowed that my relationship with Source comes first. My relationship with self comes second, and my relationship with my beloved and or the beloved at large, the collective beloved, comes third. People, places, and things all come third, fourth, fifth, etc. But again, the biggest part of this point is that I put my connection with Source as my North Star, and then my connection with self, which kind of is the same thing, right? It's a self-feeding oneness cycle. So I think that's completely appropriate that that came out last. Do we want to end? I could just keep going. Let's see. Let's just get one question card to end on. Or maybe a second to... Okay. Okay, we have no. Wait, postpone, pause, say no. Get grounded, empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. You know, every reading since I've been on Facebook, a grounded card comes out. So it's anytime grounding or any sort of self-care aggressively comes out in the way it's been since I've been on YouTube, to me that means you all are doing work, right? You're doing so much work that you have to actually be told to check in with self, to check in with your system, and to get grounded. We also have deep replenishment, retreat, rest, and allow yourself to be held. Wow, this is interesting. We have another protection card. Protection, call your power back, cut the cord, soul retrieval. You've heard me say so many versions of call your spirit back from places it doesn't belong. And then align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? I'm going to end on a divine feminine Buddha wisdom. Okay, what does this delicious collective need to know for the highest and best good? Something is what it is, only because of what it is not. Let's get another one. That was very Buddha-esque, very vague and wonderful. Wisdom dispels ignorance. Anything else? We have don't let worldly temptations lead you astray. Yeah, this is another kind of nod to putting this connection with source first. Then we have the force of the flowing river causes the flowers, the herbs, and the trees to grow. The sacred wisdom in your heart has magical power for your spiritual growth. Isn't that interesting? Right under the river card. Okay, this was a wild, chaotic reading, and I'm totally here for it. It is what it is. Life happens, and we're here for it. I'm sending you all so much strength, so much grounding, so much self-care on this journey. You are doing an incredible job. You are doing everything right. And if it doesn't feel that way, it's because you know better. And now when you know better, you can do better. Sending you all so much love. I will see you in the next one.